Earlier this year, we brought you the story of the three remaining survivors of the 1976 Vail gondola tragedy. It was the first time they had talked in depth about the accident that took 4 lives, including one of their friends.
And that story led them to get together for the first time in 4 decades. Investigative reporter Kevin Bond and photojournalist Tom Cole bring us the story of the reunion.
It was a new beginning.
It's great seeing these guys again.
A new beginning for 3 old friends.
I think we shared something that I can't really put into words.
Friends brought together for the first time in decades.
There's still the hard moments that what happened happened.
Brought together by a shared moment in time a half-century ago on a Colorado mountainside.
4 skiers died, 8 more were injured.
That day, they climbed into gondola cars at the Vail ski area. Then, a disaster. After a frayed cable sent them plunging 125 feet, they crashed to the ground at 61 miles an hour.
The entire community seems to be shrouded in a kind of eerie state of shock.
Jack Manley, Greg Dietrich, and Skip Connieris were just out of high school when they left Massachusetts for Colorado, settling in the Vail Valley. For half a century, they largely retreated into silence about what happened.
We never told each other that it was terrifying. We never admitted to each other it was horrifying. You guys are going to have to speak a little louder for me.
Earlier this year, each agreed to fully tell the story of March 26, 1976, for the first time.
This doesn't feel right.
3
We just slammed into the tower.
separate
This shouldn't be happening.
interviews. It's great to see you guys again. After 2 days in the South Florida sun, thank you again for doing this. They sat down together, a gathering that grew from that experience.
I think it made us all think, why the hell haven't we been in contact over all these years? We were good friends. What happened?
This was the first time they'd been in the same place at the same time since 1987. And what happened is complicated.
We all lived in different places over the years.
I was struggling with my own life and trying to figure out my life and myself. That kind of kept me away.
Complicated by life
How long were you up there?
and by the events of that sunny Friday on the Lion's Head gondola alongside a ski run called Born Free.
I wonder if part of us not really keeping in close contact was the fact that we, it stirs up some bad memories, and we wanted to move on with our lives. We didn't want that to define us.
They endured physical trauma, broken bones and head injuries, Manley's busted leg and crushed ankle, the worst.
I have constant reminders of, what happened back then. Still living with some of the injuries.
Then there was the emotional trauma. In the red car with them was another young man from their hometown who'd come west. Steve Mioli, a freshman at Colorado State. Dietrich and Manley had visited him in Fort Collins a month before. They invited him to spend spring break with them, and the 4 of them had gotten into Car 25 together. Mioli survived the fall, but died 2 days later.
We talked about a lot of good times with Steve, what a great skier he was, what a good kid he was.
We raised a glass to Steve, and we had a moment of real angst, and we thought, wouldn't it be great if he was here?
We'd all do a little cheers. Cheers to you, Steve. Cheers to you, Steve.
Over their days together, they experienced tough moments and felt anew emotions they've carried for so long. Emotions like grief and anger.
I will never forgive the fact that Steve and the other people are dead, and all the other people that are injured, and all the other people that took the misery and grief to their graves that are now gone. I can't forget and I can't forgive.
But while they were determined to talk about those feelings, they were also determined not to wallow in them.
We did not spend this last couple of days just like, oh God.
To acknowledge those feelings, but also to renew their friendship.
There's a lot of things that I'm grateful for, and I'd rather be focused on them.
They fished and ate, told stories and laughed, and reveled in being together again.
It was great. It was good to see these 2 guys. It was wonderful.
Mission accomplished.
We took Jack out and took him out for his birthday, and we had a blast.
Along the way, they found something they hadn't experienced together in a long time. The night before meeting with us, Dietrich had sent his wife a few pictures.
And I woke up this morning and I was reading the text that she sent back. And the first one was, "You look happy." And I am.
They all are, happy in the way only old friends can be at being back together again. Though this reunion was a long time coming, these three old friends are determined to see each other often. In a few weeks, Greg Dietrich's going to be passing through Indiana and plans to spend a day with Skip Conieris. And all three of them are already talking about their next get-together, probably later this year. Reporting in the studio, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.